Happy Monday, everybody. Jimmy Yen, the neurology acupuncture specialist, coming today with another daily power tips. So today is Movement Monday. Movement Monday. Movement is not just about the physical body. Movement Mondays, I like to focus on moving this, moving here, what's in here, because that's more important than actually the physical body. Not saying exercise is not important, but moving the mind, making the mind shift can result in more higher gains than physically shifting the body physically. And so there's this quote that I found from Laozi, which is one of those scholars, Chinese scholars, thousands of years ago, smart person, definitely lots to learn from him. And so he said this, for those of y'all who may suffer from anxiety, depression, or maybe you're just not at peace with your current life, here's the secret. He discovered the secret after observing thousands of people. He said, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. I mean, something so simple, this statement is so simple, but if you really think about it, it makes so much sense. If you're depressed, I've definitely personally experienced through all these different phases. So when you're depressed, you're living in the past. Do you know if friends or family members that constantly talk about the past? They constantly talk about, oh, back when I was this, I did this. Back when, when I was working here, I was blah, blah, blah. They're always talking about the past. And so those people tend to be depressed because they're so focused on the past. But on the flip side, people that are anxious about, who are living in the future, it's like, okay, what am I going to do when my kids, grow up? What am I going to do? I don't have kids right now, but I want kids in the future, so I need to prepare for my kids in the future. The economy. I think anxiety, there's a lot of anxiety in today's economy because there's so much uncertainty about what's going to happen, what's going to happen in 2021. And so what's going to happen with the election? Nobody knows, and nobody knows what's going to happen afterwards. Is COVID going to magically disappear? I have no idea. But that's creating a lot of anxiety for a lot of people because they're living in the future. They're so focused on what's going to happen in the future when really, no one knows. No one can predict it, right? And so that makes everybody anxious, and we see that a lot, especially with some of our patients that are coming in. They're feeling really anxious. And it's because they're focused on the future. But then you will have a small amount of people that are at peace because they are living in the present. And so, I can say, oh yeah, there's so many different transitions that I've gone through, where I was focused on the past. I was like, oh man, I had these accomplishments in the past, but now I'm not getting as many wins as I did in the past. It was easier for me in the past. In the past, I would be able to learn something and then, quickly, and then now it's taken me forever. That would make me depressed, mentally depressed. It's like, am I getting older? Not really, okay. I mean, yes, I'm getting older, but the brain still is vibrant. And then anxious is like, wondering about, okay, so my wife and I, we don't have kids, and so, there was a time period where we're anxious about, okay, what are we gonna do? Because, typically, we hope that you have kids so your kids can support you when you get older, when you can't work. Well, we had anxiety. What are we going to do? We don't have kids. And so who's going to support us? Who's going to, if we get sick or not? And so there was that anxiety in our life too. And it wasn't until we met the right mentors that helped us bring peace into our life, where we're living in the current. And one of the things also, going back to being depressed, when you're focused on the past, so often you're frozen. You don't take action, and you don't keep moving forward. But then on the flip side, when you're so looking in the future, you're analyzing. So a lot of people are falling into this analysis paralysis. They're like, what's going to happen in the future? If I do this, will I get this? And they're analyzing all the possibilities, and again, they still don't take action. So the people that are living in the past don't take action because